shift. I go to one job in the morning and the other job at night while my kids miss me.
Yeah, and she should still be here with us. She should still be here with us. The thing with I don't like to say regurgitate things like the black woman is the most disrespected or anything, because it's a word spell. I'm not going to say that. We're the most honored, we're the most revered, we're the most glorified, because that's really what people are doing, right? When you get somebody who is so overwhelmed with the presence of another being, then they start to act out. They can't control their emotions. And so that's what people are going through right now. And many black women are staying silent, because when you're dealing with narcissists or a culture that is built for narcissists or cluster B personalities, anytime the survivor starts to thrive, there's jealousy, right? So you have collective jealousy of these cluster B personalities, and now they're getting on social media and they're getting on group chats and talking about it, and how to make your girlfriend schizophrenic, and how to poison somebody, or how to sexually assault your girlfriend or wife when she's sleeping. This is craziness. This is insanity, and it's not of our creation. So what I need my phoenixes to realize, and I got a free workbook that you guys can download if you go to my website. And if you need any one-on-ones, I also do workshops on Google Meet. And they're about 90-minute workshops on in the morning, Saturdays and Sundays, or you can just get the bundle, right? And because we all need, especially black women, we all need to come together and just share. It doesn't matter, we don't have to necessarily talk about abuse or narcissism or anything like that, but we can just sit there and share. It's like, hey, I'm feeling down today, right? We need to be there as a support for one another. And I'm not really fancy. It's been so hard for me on social media, and I just want to let you guys know that I am a Virgo, and I've been through a lot that should have taken me out. And it did, some of it. Somehow I came back, okay? So, but I am not into the wing ding, dressing up and whatever. I would like to have a bit better backdrop, because I also do some DJing and stuff like this. But, I am, what you see is what you get. And I am all about holding space for us to grieve, for us to mourn that there's not very many safe spaces for us anymore, right? For us to share without some narcissist or cluster B coming to us and saying, hey, stop complaining. That's exactly what I was told. It's like, oh, you complain too much, because I was upset that I couldn't find anything for, to help me get up off the streets, or that would help take my babies. I had pitties, and one chihuahua, and they wouldn't, there was nobody. And the lady who I had said she would help me and I moved in was like, you complain too much. I said, okay, I'm not going to talk to you about anything. But there's really nothing to talk about, because her goal was not to help me. Her goal was to ravage me. Her goal was to exploit me and sexualize me and fetishize me. And when that backfired, I got kicked to the curb, because I stood my ground. Because just because I'm homeless doesn't mean that I'm stupid, doesn't mean that I don't have value, doesn't mean that I don't have worth. We have worth, phoenixes. We have value. And it's the hardest thing when you need to support your family and people want to break you down. There's this virus that's gone around to people who are already cowardly, to people who already had lacked substance and they were already fragmented. And this is why we do the healing work. This is why you get a group where you can go to and you can vent and you can share and you can cry without having, any type of, oh gosh, you're being too much or whatever like that. Because if you don't heal, you're going to let other lower vibratory entities into yourself, and it's going to make it that much worse until you're not recognizable. There's some people that I hear talking, I don't recognize who they are. So yes, I have worked 2 jobs to get up off the street. I have worked 60-hour weeks plus, 12 to 18-hour shifts, standing on my feet swollen. I walked 8 miles, I'm not exaggerating, back and forth while I was doing the 2 jobs in the California sun, anywhere from 110 to 118 degrees. I went through shoes like nobody's business because I was doing so much walking. And then when I finally got some stability and some balance, people were jealous because of that. So it doesn't matter. We do get tired. I understand that tiredness. We wreck our nervous system so much, even though on the outside we appear like we're healthy, like we're happy, like we got things together. That's just that stoic mask that we put on. But on the inside, we're crying. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do empathic listening. That's why I do workshops. That's why I hold, space on Google Meet. Not to make money, because I could charge a heck of a lot more. I don't want to. I just want to be able to say it. The thing of it is that I learned when I was on the streets, especially in building up, that I understood all of a sudden the spiritual significance of investing in myself. Planting a seed. Was I still frugal? You bet. Right? But I knew that if I planted that seed, there was going to be a harvest in the long run. I didn't know when it was going to bloom or blossom or whatever like that. But I knew that I had to plant a seed, just like sometimes hey, I have to spend more on this so that it's durable, so that it lasts me longer, right? So that I can have it for 5 years versus a year, right? So that's all that's about. But I believe, and I'm open, I'm holding space for Black women. And I know, like I said, I'm a heart on my sleeves kind of person. What you see is what you get. But I am very passionate about healing. I am very passionate about bringing knowledge, making people aware of breaking things down, right? And from a spiritual, metaphysical, even occult kind of thing, because some of this does get into the witchy part of it, some of the things that we are experiencing, just to help, because some people don't know. When you know better, you do better. But it also feels really good when you have other people who are going through the same thing. They're conquering the same things. They're in pain about the same things, and you're just listening, and you can say, "Thank God that I'm not alone." All right. So, message me. Follow the link in my description, and remember: from the ashes we rise, from the soul we lead. Coach T, I love you.